Hi Jess, your classroom looks so great. It looks like you've done a lot of work to make your students feel welcomed and ready to learn. I really hope your first few days of school are going well, but if not, I'm sure you will get back into the swing of things in no time. We just had a really nice Labor Day weekend. It was very relaxing. We spent a lot of time at home and also at the cottage in Saugatuck where Aaron's grandparents live. It was really nice just hanging out by the lake, seeing family, and reading. I finished the book that I was reading, which I'm sure you know is something that makes me very happy. And I love this book, Jess. This is another Jen Hatmaker book, and are we surprised that I loved it so much? Not really. It was really wonderful. It's called For the Love, Fighting for Grace in a World of Impossible Standards. And Jess, this spoke to me so much. And there is so much wisdom and great things in this book, but rather than doing a full book review, I really want to talk about one specific topic that she addressed, and that is calling. You know about calling, right, Jess? If you're watching this and you didn't grow up in the church, you're probably like, huh? What are you talking about? But I think if you grew up in the church, especially if you went to a Christian school, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Calling is the goal, your ultimate purpose in life, the thing that you're supposed to do with your life, the thing that you're supposed to find, your ultimate passion, your vocation, all these things that you have to figure out about yourself. I think it's also known as God's will for your life. It's just something that we all think about a lot, just trying to figure out what God wants us to do, how He wants us to serve Him. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who has felt plenty of anxiety when thinking about this concept. I've definitely thought a ton about what my calling might be, what my passions are, what a career that follows my passions but also serves God could be. And I thought about that a lot when I was trying to pick a college. When I ultimately chose Kuiper College and went into music and worship, I sort of thought, oh, I'm done. I found my calling. And then I went through 4 amazing years at college, learned my stuff, got my degree, and surprisingly, or should I say not surprisingly, it's not the magical unicorn calling life that I expected. I am doing a job that I really love, taking care of little kids, but it's just not what I spent all that time getting a degree for. So maybe I found my calling, but I'm not really sure. And I've still been doing a lot of thinking about it and thinking about, am I in the right place, or am I just sort of in a holding pattern? And then I read this book. And Jen Hatmaker says that she's just not sure that this idea of one specific distinct calling that you have to just find out in the blue somewhere is even biblical. In the Bible, there's a few references to calling, but they either invite you to salvation or simply call you to live a life of goodness and help others and serve God. And essentially, that's something we can all do, and we can do it wherever we are. And that may sound like a super simple concept, I know, just thinking about it right here, but for me, for where I come from, for all the things that I've been taught about calling and about purpose and God's will for my life, for me, someone who's just not sure about one goal, one passion in my life, I've always had a bunch of different passions, but for someone who desperately wants to serve God and just find a purpose, find a worthy calling for my life, that gave me a lot of really great relief. At the end of the chapter, Jen sums it up by saying, "You don't need to wait another day to figure out your calling. You're living it, dear one. Your gifts have a place right now in the job you have in your stage of life with the people who surround you. And I was just super struck by this simple idea. And when I read it to Erin, I actually started to choke up, which tells me just how important it was to me. And I think she wrote it because she felt it was important to a lot of people. So that tells me too that I'm not alone. So what does that mean going forward? It means that I don't have to wonder and worry about what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I don't have to worry about wasting my life. I can watch you and Erin do amazing work at a job that you've known you were going to do for a long time. And I can go to my job taking care of babies. I can go to church where I do worship stuff for free. And I can know that wherever I go, I can live a life worthy of the calling that I have received. That's all I want to do. I want to finish by reading this sort of prayer that she writes at the end of the chapter. We are called to this work, and it might not seem like much, but if you play your one note, and I play mine, and she plays hers, together it will create a beautiful song that sounds like freedom for the captives and good news to the poor. May the brokenhearted be healed, and ashes turn to beauty in our generation. God, make us worthy of your calling. I love you so much, Jess, and I will see you on Monday.